Here's Bradman Best. Bradman Best goes over and scores the try. Tyson Frizzell strolls over where Hudson Young may have been, and they score the try. Chair Dylan Lucas. He runs himself. Lucas! Wow! Dylan Lucas. But that is Dylan good. That's Dylan great.
The Knights victorious, 18 points to 14. They defeat the Dolphins. It was 3 tries apiece.
This game is our game. This town is our town. Can you hear and listen to the crowd?
So I guess if you make the semi-finals, you get a little bit of your song in there. So
Yes.
there you go. Well done.
You're going to sing the Rooster Man for us.
No, but you're going to sing
None of my teams made the 8.
Ivan. Haven't you heard that song? Anyway, let's get into the Newcastle Knights. They finished 8th, 12-12 season, and they won their last 3 games to get there. Michael, how do you assess the season of the Knights?
Yeah, mixed again, because there is a side that when they're hot, they go hot off the back of Kalen Ponga, right? When they're not, and they just, and it's been the case for them for the last couple of years. They win in clusters, they lose in clusters.
Yes, they do.
And they just can't find that consistency. And you always get to a point where they're always chasing their tail in the back half of the year. They found a way the last couple of years. I think it was 3 out of the last 4 years under Adam O'Brien. They've made the finals.
Yep.
But they haven't been a genuine premiership threat in that time. It all comes down to one man, Kalen Ponga.
It's more than any other team in the National Rugby League. They are reliant on one player.
And one of the most reliant I've seen in a team's history ever.
Yep.
You look at even Andrew Johns back in the day, Jonathan Thurston back in the day, these two superstars of the modern era, they still had better players or players that were able to perform around them a bit more. Right.
So the interesting part about that too, 12-12 season, Ponga plays 16 games. He's 7-9.
Yeah.
So he actually had a losing record for the Newcastle Knights this year.
Yeah.
But we've just said, no, he's such an important
He's such an important player. But that comes down to their consistency and their ability to just go 3-4 instead of 1-4 and 4-4 all the time, in terms of their seasons. And if they can just pick wins up along the way, they'll be able to not chase their tails or play with some desperation that has occurred throughout the last couple of years. They keep, and it's been a theme of the last couple of years, is all changing their halves. There's no continuity in their halves.
That's what I've got.
There's
no
punch in their halves, and it's a massive question mark. It was a massive question mark in 24. It'll be a massive question mark in 25 because Hastings, Cogger, Gamble, there's not much that separates them, right? And we're not talking at the elite level.
So I've written down 6 names here. Oh, by the way, Kai Pearce-Paul comes out and was a revelation.
Super. He's a player,
isn't he?
He's a player.
Something different.
He's a player.
Yeah.
He's big. He's fast. He's raw, and he's a point of difference for him. And then you've got Bradman Best, and then you've got Kalen Ponga, and you go, okay.
Yeah.
That's where they can find some points.
And Leo Thompson. Hang on. Whoops.
Well, they got another 12 months of Leo.
Yeah.
Jacob Safidi. So Tyson Frizzell still, and Dan Gagai had his best season in the last couple of years this year.
So who's your best halves combination? You talked about it. Jack Cogger, Jackson Hastings, Tyson Gamble, Phoenix Crossland, Will Price. Now James Schiller's there.
Yeah.
There's such a sameness. Who's your running 5'8"?
It's Will Price is your running 6.
Right.
Right.
And then who's your organising 7 that you go with?
If in an ideal world and everyone playing to their abilities, you've got Price at 6, and apparently he's been really good in this off-season, right?
Right. Is he training the house down, Michael?
Well, no, he's impressing them, though. He's definitely impressing them. Whether or not he's ready for that role, but that's I'm talking an ideal world, right? Round 1, I don't know if he's going to be ready to start. But for Newcastle to be good this year, they need that running 6. And the only one there, I know Gamble's a runner, but Gamble's a off-the-cuff sort of energy player.
Yes.
Okay? He's not your natural running 6. So for mine, it'll be Price. And I think the best halfback still at the club in terms of organising a side is Jackson Hastings.
Yeah.
But I just don't know if he plays.
Yeah. So it's funny that Jack Cogger leaves Penrith after being instrumental in their comeback victory against the Brisbane Broncos. Such a huge role in that. And he regressed last year.
Yeah.
Or 24.
Yep.
Definitely regressed.
Definitely,
So what
yeah.
does that say about
Well-
Jack's preparation? What does it say about the system he's gone into? What does it say about the system he's come from?
It shows a few things. One, how dynamic that Penrith system is and the
Yep.
players in and around him.
Yep.
Two, and he's had a couple of opportunities. I'm just not sure he's a week in, week out premier half in the competition.
Yeah.
Jack Cogger. Jack Cogger,
No.
for mine, is a serviceable third stringer.
He's almost a 14.
Potential
Isn't he?
14.
You know, hey,
right?
you can cover dummy half.
I
you
think
can cover
Tyson
halfback.
Gamble's probably a good 14 for him, right? But the issue is you got Phoenix Crossland with Jaden Brayley starting,
Yes.
right? So Jaden Brayley will start at 9, and then if Crossland doesn't play 13, he's off that bench and covers enough positions well. But Tyson Gamble out of those guys is probably an adequate 14 because he can come on, he can defend in the middle if you really need him to, but he's got that energy about him.
I don't know exactly what these players are getting paid, but Cogger, Crossland, Gamble, Hastings, Price would all be above the average. Do you agree with that?
Hastings is on marquee half money.
Right. So the point of it is their salary cap's out of whack.
Definitely out of whack. It's been out of whack for a while now. That's why they've let Daniel Safidi go. That's why there were suggestions around Jaden Brayley.
But are they letting the right people go?
With
You know what I mean?
well-
we're looking at here and going, and Matt Arthur now comes.
Yeah.
Right. But
To play 9.
I know to play 9, but we're looking at that and going, well, if you're going to let someone go,
It's not that simple, Jimmy. You need a buyer.
I understand that.
And they re-signed Tyson Gamble, right? That's probably one that I might not have done. Okay, so they re-signed him for 25.
Yep.
Okay, because I just don't think he adds what they're missing.
So the other thing we don't know too is what happens in and around training. Right? Tyson, as you say, energy player. He might be the world's best trainer, and
He's a competitor, right? He competes on every play, so you've got no doubt at training, he's the guy leading.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
So you get that, but does that translate to wins and losses all the time? Not necessarily.
No, and you've got to work out how do you find that balance. You know, how do you find the balance between those players who are really good from a culture setting and a standard setting at training, and how does that translate into what they do for you on the field? And can you balance that by having someone else who's quite brilliant that then can learn off that player?
Yeah.
And that's where you get the balance. You don't have that balance in this Newcastle squad.
No.
Okay, grade?
B.
Yeah, I go for B. I don't think Newcastle Knights were going to be a top 8 side.
Yeah.
And even if, depending on, and it's all right, and it's like we say with Tom Trebojevic, but that's less of the case at the Manly Seagulls. It all depends on how many games Kalen plays.
Yeah, but you look at, as you said, it's less of a case with Manly because they've still got stars and they'll win games without Tom.
Yep.
Newcastle, if Kalen doesn't play, they finish bottom 4.
Yeah.
If he doesn't play 10 games.
I know you've done it, and I don't want to steal your thunder, but do you have Newcastle making the 8
I
2025? No, I could see them missing out.
Yeah, I don't have him making my 8. I just think you look at the halves, their best hope is that Will Price kicks, right, and he's that run in 6 that they desperately crave. Because then if you have him, then you've got strike, as I said, with Best and Marzu and Gagai, Kalen Ponga, Kai Pearce-Poore. Even like Frizzell's still a good player. Dylan Lucas, he really improved this year. I think Dylan Lucas
player.
I think Dylan Lucas had a really big year for him this year. So
huge.
He forces his way. Does he force his way on an edge? And Frizzell plays a bit more in the middle to stiffen up that middle third now. So, like it's
Adam Elliott was playing that 13 role, a little bit more tip on.
It's
so
not
it depends
lost.
how
It's
Adam
not
O'Brien
lost.
wants to play.
It's not lost, but I think for them to kick, they need Will, and I don't know if he's got the ability to do it, but they need Will Price to become a dynamic run in 6 and work out and organise in 7.
You know, Michael, doctors say a proper breakfast includes eggs, bacon, and breakfast with Fossey and Brandy. So get your daily fix through our socials and listen live on SEN Radio.